I fed both of the starts last night. I fed this one a little more. Look at how that is just growing. I'm going to stir that down. Just watch. See how active that is? How much it went down? I'm gonna wait to feed these. Well, no, I might. I'm not sure. This one last night, after I fed it, did grow like the other one did, but not quite as much. I think I'm gonna weigh out those flowers and get back to this feeding this later. This one I'm gonna feed more, but I just wanted to show how much this one particularly had grown, and I wanted to get it stirred down. But I'm liking the looks of them. I want to get 2 cups for the biscuit recipe. It may end up coming out of this larger one. We'll just have to see what happens. I went ahead and measured the flour and water, and I think I'm going to do all of this in this one for now. This is the brown rice flour, and that is absolutely gorgeous. Looks like really light cornmeal. This is just the ground spelt-kamut. I'm going to just put these in. This is 122 grams combined, which is just over 4 ounces. There's the water for them. Just going to stir this in. After feeding them last night, they both really responded. So I took out a quarter of the flours that I ground last night to put in the smaller one, which is the one I was planning for the biscuits. And I've got combined 38 grams, the brown rice, the spelt, and the kamut. And 38 grams of water, which is about 10 grams over an ounce, so an ounce and a third. This one I may need to watch closer and even put it in something else. The way it's been growing, it may go wild on me, which is okay. That's the purpose of it, is to have those natural wild yeasts growing. On the cookistry.com, Donna Curry, who had this short, she did 10 days, I'm going to do 12, but she had this short recipe with the smaller amounts, smaller volumes, which I like, and it doesn't throw away like most of them do. I don't like the idea of throwing away starter just so you have room to make more when it's all growing. But on her site she talks about naming your starter. She said it's kind of a tradition, and I only ever really think about it when sorry, covering these up, setting them on the counter. I only really think of it when I do my log that I'm keeping on the computer. And last night I was thinking about it. For some reason I always picture a green gem stone like an emerald when I work with the starter. And so its name is Jewel. Just because. Maybe the little one will be the gem and the big one's the jewel. Either way. I want to try something. I can't remember where, but because I've read so many things about sourdough recently on the internet. I read one and it talked about saving the sourdough, and it might have been on Donna Curry's cookistry.com. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try to dry a little bit of this just to see how it'll work. I have access to parchment, so that's what I'm going to use to try to do this with. It's trying to roll on me, so might be a little bit interesting. I want enough weight so it'll hold the parchment down, but I don't want to get so much that I can't spread it out thin. It's kind of nice thing, and well, I'd love to have all this fun cooking stuff. I don't, but it's nice to have Mom's kitchen so close by. I'm gonna try to get this spread a little bit. See how long it takes to dry, and then see what I can do with it. Who knows? It is active. It's growing nicely. I'm getting nice bubbles. Just to prove, I just stirred it down and there's bubbles right there on the top. Speaking of stirring down, Gem over here is going a bit wild, so stir them down at the same time. These are basically identical. We're real close to being the same. I'm just doing the smaller one to be able to have some for the biscuits, and who knows, I may end up keeping that as a start as well. I don't know. Depends on how far it goes. Okay, spreading this out, I'm actually really starting to smell the fermentation. The sourdough is definitely sour. Just an interesting note, last night I was researching it. I think I was actually on wikipedia.com, and it talked about how they would take a piece of bread from the day before and use that for their start for the next day. I think this is easier, but that's just me. Okay, I've got that covering the parchment. It's about as thin as I can get it. There's a few, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons here total, maybe a 1/4 cup. Gonna see how that dries. It is at 100% mixture right now, so it should dry fairly fast. There's not a lot of excess water. I'm going to put these back over, let them cover them, and let them keep doing their thing. Jim, and especially Jewel, are actively participating in this endeavor. I'm going to give them a stir. Jewel, I did feed heavy this morning and it is really growing. I may actually put it in the fridge, that which was my intent initially, and just continue with Gem here. But have to see, you have to think about it as the day progresses. The starter's drying nicely. Where it was thinner along the edges, it's already dry. I think by tomorrow it'll definitely be dry. The parchment kind of got a wave going when I put the liquid on it, but it's still looking good. Well, I've decided I'm going to feed Jewel and put him in the fridge. I'll check it in the morning, but even after that heavy feeding this morning, the bubbling has already gone down. It's still bubbling, but not real bad. But I think Jewel's definitely ready to hit the fridge. I'm going to keep working on Gem because I want to make some biscuits and it's not quite big enough. I think I'm going to do a heavy feeding tonight and possibly in the morning so I can do the biscuits in a day or two. I actually started a new YouTube channel this morning where I'll be posting this. I just need 28 grams of water here, which is just under an ounce, and I went over to feed Gem. Gonna stir this and put it back out on the counter. I'm going to feed it more heavily in the morning because I will need 2 cups for the biscuit recipe, and hopefully within a couple of days I'll be making some biscuits. I might actually trade off and put Gem in the fridge and leave Jewel out since Jewel is larger and I fed it big this morning. I think I'll do that. This one, yeah, I can do that right now. Thanks for watching Perhaps Cooking. Feel free to share, give me a thumbs up, or subscribe.